Welcome to the 2021 Heart of America Conference Women's Volleyball Media Day. I'm your host, Stephen Davis. We are joined right now by the head women's volleyball coach at Grandview University, Tina Carter. Coach, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
Doing well. Hey, you guys have already made the furthest trip of any Heart volleyball team. You guys went to the Big Sky Challenge way out in Butte, Montana. How did the tournament go for your squad with the long road trip?
Well, Montana Tech has been awesome about coming to our tournament every year, so we definitely owed them another return trip. I think it's good for the girls to sort of get out and do a little team bonding before the season starts, before classes start, kind of get settled in, get used to each other a little bit. And I love Yellowstone. I think it's such a cool place to take the girls so they can see something other than just, like what you would do on a vacation. So it was awesome too, because you have to disconnect and you can't use your cell phone. There's no cell service, there's no nothing. So it was just us cruising around in a bus. We saw a ton of buffalo, bison, whatever the proper term is. We saw a lot of elk, we saw Old Faithful. I was bummed that we didn't see a bear. That was really the only thing I wanted to see, but yeah, it was a good trip. On the court, wasn't exactly the result that we were hoping for, but we've got some new pieces. We're doing some different things. Our scheduling is always incredibly tough. And so to open with Eastern Oregon, who was ranked number 6, that was kind of an eye opener, I think, for our 2 freshmen that were starting in that match. And we were without our starting libero, and it was sort of a, let's see what we can do this weekend. So disappointing, I guess, a little bit, but also we learned a lot about our team. And so we've taken that into our training this week.
You mentioned the schedule. I think if I counted right, 5 of your first 7 matches are against ranked opponents. You've got number 1 and number 3 in there as well. Obviously, you schedule tough. What are you hoping to see from your squad, though, as they take on such tough competition to begin the season?
I think it's just good for them to see where we want to be, if that's not where we are right now. And I think it's good to prep them going into conference. And then I also think it's great so that we know what to expect should we make it to the postseason. This weekend, we head to Viterbo for a quad that we established, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. So it's Midland, Missouri Baptist, Viterbo, and us. And so I think with Missouri Baptist being the returning national champion, that was the last match that we played in the spring. And then Midland is always a great team. And I think Viterbo will be in the top 10, if not the top 8 after today's ranking.
Tough schedule. Who are some returners, though, that you're looking to lead the squad and show everybody else the level of competition you're wanting your team to get to, where they can play with these top teams in the country consistently, match in, match out?
Yeah, for sure. I think most of the kids who are going to be starting for us this year got experience last year. They got to experience the national tournament. Both of our outsides are seniors, and so they'll be leading the charge. Our libero is the returning conference freshman of the year, so it will be nice to have her back starting this weekend. We have a returning senior middle. We have a returning super senior on the right. And then we have a couple of really talented freshmen. We've got a senior DS that's playing. So a little bit senior heavy, but with some nice youth and some experienced players coming back.
Hey, you've got to talk about the experience all around. Who are the newcomers you need to step up and be able to see some time on the court for you this season?
Yeah, right now we've got a middler named Sydney Beasley, and she is very athletic, a ton of potential, very high ceiling. But again, she's gonna have to learn fast. That's sort of the way our scheduling works, and that there aren't a lot of what you would say maybe easier matches. I'm not gonna say anyone's an easy match, but she got thrown into it right away. First match she started was against a top 10 team. So she had to learn pretty quickly. The other one is Jenna Brown. She started as our opposite. We ran a 6-2 in our first match. So she got some experience too. And I think she learned quickly there are some things that you got away with in high school that you definitely can't get away with in college. But we will rely heavily on our outsides, Jenna Wagamaster and Lauren Bear. And then our other returning middle is Taylor Carey. And so I think that, we have the pieces to be able to do something pretty special this year. But with every year, you have to figure out your chemistry on the court and off. And then you also have to be able to execute. So we're going to have to get quite a bit of work done this week heading into this weekend, but I'm hopeful that we have a good showing and that our kids step up to the challenge.
You guys have established quite the level of success there. 5 straight Hart regular season titles. Teams qualified for the NAIA national tournament 9 times. What do you think has been the key for consistent year in and year out success for your program there at Grandview?
I think the biggest thing is that we have expectations. And once you've been there, there really isn't anything else that you want to have happen. Once you've won a conference championship or qualified for nationals or made the round of 8, whatever that is, it's once those kids have experienced that, it's hard to settle for anything else. And so that's the expectation in the gym. I think it just raises the level of play. It encourages them all to have what we call friendly competition in the gym. So, you stuff block your friend or your teammate and you give them a high five under the net and then you go right back after them. So I think a lot of it is just the culture that we've established. Sometimes it's hard to coming in for freshmen to know what that even means. They've never been to Sioux City. They've never been to a conference championship. And so they have to really just follow the example of our upperclassmen. And I think those kids have done a great job of passing it down from year to year about what we want to do and where we want to be at the end of the season.
You talk about the upperclassmen passing it down. You've had staff continuity as well with an assistant with you for 14 years. How much does that play into helping set that foundation and then bring in the right kinds of kids to the program too?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, honestly, probably the smartest thing I've ever done is hire the best assistant coaches I could. Makani and his wife Kate just had a baby a couple days ago, and so we've been without him for the preseason. But what an amazing experience! They had a little boy. Everything is great. Everybody's healthy, so that's fantastic. And Devin has actually been with us as a player and now as a coach. And so it's really nice to have her too. It's a great transition. She's kind of that buffer because she's been a player for me, but she's also been a student at Grandview to understand what some of the demands are and what it's like to be a student athlete there. And then also to transition into a pretty fantastic coach, to be honest. She's great with the girls, understands what they need to know to be successful. And then also is just a good mentor for them.
Having a baby sounds more exciting than going to Yellowstone, maybe only by about this much.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We're super excited for them. Our girls are always asking when our coaches are going to have kids. My daughter's a senior in high school, so they never really got a chance to hang out with her when she was little. So they've got babysitters lined up and ready to go.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.